Today is Tuesday, November the 23rd, and you are live with AJ is Live on the Respective Angle Show. What's up, guys? I am the one, the only AJ is Live, as I just said. So, what am I going to be discussing on today? I know that it has been a little bit, I'd say it's been quite a little bit, quite some time since I've last been on, since you've seen me, since you've heard my voice. But as I always say, got to make sure the house is taken care of. Make sure that the business is taken care of. The businesses at this point is taken care of before I do anything as it pertains to YouTube. And this year, it's been a very challenging year. So let's get into it. We're going to be talking about Kyle Rittenhouse. Well, I'm going to be talking about Kyle Rittenhouse. I have a few opinions on the Kyle Rittenhouse case and its conclusion. And I'm out of here. I'm not going to be on here for too long. To all my subscribers, be sure that there's going to be an all-new program that's going to be coming out on the Respective Angle Show. As I said, I've had a very tedious project, and I'm running a business, a couple businesses at this point. So I had a very tedious project that is now about to be at its conclusion point. So moving forward, I've started something, which is the Respective Angle Show, this platform, and I want to be able to build it and grow it. So I ask you, the subscribers, to share every one of the videos that we post out on the platform. All my followers, all my subscribers, because we are also on Facebook. Between YouTube and Facebook, guys, we want to reach 1,000 subscribers. We want to be monetized. I ain't ashamed to ask. I'm going to ask you. So make sure and share the videos. There's going to be a lot of interesting content coming your way on the Respective Angle Show. I find it's high time to amp up and get up on everything that we need to get up on in terms of the technology and the equipment that we need to use to plateau this damn thing, to make sure that we elevate this platform and start to empower, educate, entertain, and much more. Keep you aware of different things, and we're going to be having different segments on the show as well. But it's going to be a team thing. It's going to be a team, and we're going to be what we're doing right now. We're actually in the stage of strategizing, and not trying to do this by myself, really and truly. And it takes a team to get things done. There's no I in team. So that's what we're going to be doing. So for right now, we're going to be talking about Kyle Rittenhouse and, the small things about the case and the outcome of the case and how I felt about it. Because, the whole entire world was actually keeping their eyes peeled to the TVs, glued to the TV screens while this case was actually going on, because everybody wanted to see what the outcome would be as it pertains to Mr. Kyle Rittenhouse, a 17-year-old young Caucasian man who, in last year in Kenosha, Wisconsin, when they were having the riots, based on a young African American that was shot, not killed, but shot, and I believe is now paralyzed in Kenosha. And there were riots going on, and he found himself over the border, and over the state lines, crossed over state lines to be involved in the riot to volunteer. So he says, as he claims. So we're going to be discussing that for a little bit. I'm going to be speaking, saying my opinions for a little bit, and we're going to be out of here. The schedule for the show, guys, I'm going to ask you right now to find out more info on the upcoming events on the show. I would implore you to log on to www.therespectiveangleshow.com. Yes, it's going to be live and in living color. Cameras are going to be back on. Our microphone systems are going to be properly working. And we're going to be doing things. My wife and I, AJ, is going to be back in the house. We're going to be having our setup. Our studio is going to be set up properly. Our lighting is going to be looking dynamic, and it's all a part about it's all a part of the technical team who knows what they're doing and is going to get things together. Um, so, of course, we're going to be asking for donations because things aren't done for free. People's time aren't aren't free, isn't free. So, we have to make sure and pay people for certain things. But that's all a part of investment, and it's all a part of empowerment. So, at the end of this whole entire thing, I'm going to be putting up a Cash App where you can donate if you feel led by the Spirit of God to donate to what we are trying to accomplish here at the Respective Angle Show. So, we're going to get into it. Let's start the show. Well, so as I was saying before, we're here to discuss those, little things about the Kyle Rittenhouse case and my opinions on the Kyle Rittenhouse case, what I thought about it, and the outcome of the case. Of course, at this point, we all know that Mr. Rittenhouse has been found not guilty on all charges for the events that occurred last year in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and um, it's a half and half feeling for me. I don't know about anybody else, and I know a lot of people, other people that is feeling this way right now. It's a you don't know how to feel, but still at the same time you do know how to feel as it relates to this situation. You know, putting yourself when you sit and think about this situation, putting yourself in this young man's shoes, um, being caught in a situation like that, one tends to ask themselves, would I have pulled the trigger? That's the most important part. If I was caught in a situation like this, white or black, Indian or Jew, Chinese, Brazilian, doesn't matter where you're from, if you were caught in a situation such as this, and you were armed and bodily harm was being threatened towards you, and you're being approached in a manner where it's an aggressive manner, would you have pulled the trigger? That's the question. Would you have pulled the trigger? Some may have pulled the trigger, some may not have pulled the trigger, but the whole thing is, what was your thinking behind having to pull the trigger? What was this young man thinking at the time of him firing that weapon? And that is what the defense had to prove is, was he intentionally trying to commit murder, or was he doing it as an act of self-defense? And that was what this whole entire case was about. It was about either, for the prosecutor's side, proving that he had intent to murder the two individuals and the third person that he injured, or on the defense's side, was he acting in self-defense? And in the course of this case, there's been a lot of different little screw ups by the prosecutor. Cut and dry, point blank, period. The prosecutor screwed up on a lot of different instances, you know? And for people that don't know the law, and I can't really toot my own horn, I can't boast because now I'm actually learning the law and learning things about the law and the structures of the law. There are certain procedures as a judge that needs to be followed. There are rules in the courtroom that has to be followed. And every time the rules are being broken, the judge now then has to come in and act as what you would call a referee, a legal referee who has to step in and make sure that certain boundaries and lines aren't crossed. And if they are crossed, the proper measures are taken to deal with the situation. And there were different times that the prosecutor, we have to be honest and be pragmatic about this. The prosecutor did not prosecute or did not try this case to the best of his ability. If that was the best of his abilities, then I want to see his record on people that he actually has put in jail for actual crime that they actually committed. We got to think about it. We have to think about it. We have to think. It's very important to think about it like that. We can't be ignorant to the facts and say, well, the judge is being biased because this is not a white on black case. If it was a white on black case and the judge was being how he was, then we have grounds to say that, well, okay, based on the judge being white and the victim being black, the judge was lenient on the defendant. We can't say that because this was a white on white on white on white case. So that's why this case was very interesting to me, and the things that actually took place in the case, it was very, very interesting to me, and I was paying attention to this very closely. So, you know, with that being said, um, yeah, the prosecutor has to prove that Mr. Rittenhouse indeed intended to murder these three individuals, and he couldn't do it. He attempted, he tried, and he failed. The defense was very intelligent. They were very resourceful. They found different ways of defending their client. And I can't say that Mr. Rittenhouse is wrong because I wasn't there at the time. Yes, we saw the footage, but I wasn't there at the time, and I had to put myself in that predicament. Would I have been the person that's chasing down a person with a weapon such as an AR-15? Let's think about this. What possesses someone to chase an armed individual that is possessing an AR-15 to chase them down? That's what we got to think about. That's how we have to look at this. And then we have to pay attention to the defense lawyer that Mr. Rittenhouse has. Obviously, this is a very strategic defense lawyer because he instructed his client, and I know this was a strategy. This wasn't a thing that Mr. Rittenhouse thought of doing or did on his own or was just really emotional. I believe that the defense lawyer that Mr. Rittenhouse hired, he readied Mr. Rittenhouse and his mom for this case, which is the job of a great defense lawyer. Prepping your client. It's all about analyzing the environment, analyzing the jury, and being able to pick out who is, if the jury will be emotionally vulnerable, if the judge is emotionally vulnerable. And these are the things that a very strong and strategic defense lawyer does to win a case. So I believe, in my point that I was going back to before, I believe that the defense lawyer, prompted Mr. Rittenhouse and his mom to come out with the waterworks. That's not illegal. There's nothing illegal about it. it's fair game. It's all about defense strategy. It's all about appealing to the judge. It's all about appealing to the jury. And seeing Mr. Rittenhouse cry like that, it actually, I was like, wait a minute, is he crying? Wow. Let's look at the beautiful beam footage, shall we?
Mr. Zeminski, and there were three people right there.
Take a deep breath, Kyle.
That's what I. That's what I run.
We're gonna just take it. Time for our break anyway.
Wow. 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 See? You have to sell the story. The judge, the lawyer, the defense lawyer pretty much told Mr. Rittenhouse straight up, listen, I'm not going to lie to you, Kyle. You're looking kind of guilty right now. As your defense lawyer, I'm just saying you're looking kind of guilty. Based on the video evidence, you're looking kind of guilty. All I'm going to just tell you to do is we're going to bring you up to the stand to testify. When the defendant testifies, it can also imply that the defendant has nothing to hide, may not have anything to hide. So, that, on top of what I'm about to tell you to do, will appeal to the jury. Right now, we may or may not have a jury that may be leaning on your side. Right now, we may or may not have a judge that will actually give you the benefit of the doubt. So we have to sell this. We have to sell this case. And I mean, we really have to sell this case. So, Kyle, you're going to have to cry. Straight up. You're going to have to cry. And we're going to have to practice this cry. Because this cry has to be the cry that persuades the whole entire jury. And that cry right there, as I wrap up, that cry right there took Mr. Rittenhouse's case over the top. And, well, with an addition of the prosecutor being inadequate or being an inadequate trial lawyer. Because I ain't gonna lie, if he was in New York with a seasoned trial lawyer, prosecutor, this case would have went a different direction. But at the end of the day, Mr. Rittenhouse was found not guilty. He was acquitted of all his charges. He is a free man, although he has to live with the notoriety and acknowledge, the things that he has done. The notoriety when he goes to school, people are going to be looking at him. It's going to be two sides of the fence. Some people are going to support him, and some people are going to hate him. But this is the light that he has put himself in, and he has to deal with as he gets older. So, good luck to you, Mr. Rittenhouse. Congratulations on a not guilty verdict. As I said, if you were in that situation, you have to put yourself in that shoes. In that situation, if you were in that situation, would you have pulled the trigger or not? It was a situation that not everyone is in. So at the end of the day, we have to make sure that you give people fair judgment. You have to give people a fair shake. All right, folks. So you guys be blessed. Like, subscribe, share, hit the comments and in the comment section down below. Make sure you comment and let us know what you think about this topic, today's topic. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, share the videos. And until next time, guys, be safe, have a happy Thanksgiving, and God bless.